Would you trust your parents after one Christmas tradition turned deadly forever? Every Christmas Eve, my family celebrated a tradition that should never have existed. My parents called it the Angel's Flight. To everyone watching online, it looked like a beautiful act of faith. In reality, it was a nightmare. Dad forced each of us onto the roof of our two-story house, blindfolded us, told us to spread our arms like angel wings, and jump into the snow below. He insisted it was a lesson in trusting God. Mom filmed everything for her YouTube channel, Faithful Family Adventures, where over 50,000 subscribers praised us as the perfect Christian family. Nobody knew the truth. Dad shoveled a thin layer of snow beneath the landing spot, but it never softened the fall. Faith only matters when there's real risk, he'd always say. I survived that ritual 4 Christmases. Every landing left painful bruises. My older brother Jackson wasn't as lucky. He broke his wrist, but Dad called it God testing his faith. Their audience praised his courage. Then came the year they expected my little sister Paisley to jump. She was only 6. Born prematurely with brittle bone disease, she'd already undergone 3 surgeries. Her pediatrician warned my parents to avoid high-impact activities. Dad ignored every warning, no exceptions. That Christmas Eve, the temperature had dropped to 15 degrees, and the snow had frozen into ice. I begged them to wait. Mom simply checked her camera. The audience loves real winter footage. Dad carried Paisley onto the roof. Her tiny body shook with fear. I don't want to, she whispered. Dad tightened the blindfold. Angels don't question God. When I count to 3, jump. I rushed onto the roof. She's too little, Mom shouted from below. You're ruining the shot. I refused to move. I grabbed Paisley's hand as Dad counted. 1. Please, she cried. 2. I tried pulling her away. 3. Dad shoved me aside and pushed my 6-year-old sister off the roof. I'll never forget the sound. A violent crack echoed across the frozen yard. Paisley lay motionless. Her leg bent unnaturally. Blood spread across the ice. I jumped down immediately. She wasn't moving. Call 911, I screamed. Dad climbed down calmly. No, she'll be fine. When he lifted her, her neck twisted unnaturally. That's when Mom finally lowered the camera. Paramedics confirmed multiple fractures and a devastating head injury. The frozen ground had been as hard as concrete. Paisley spent 3 weeks in intensive care before she died. While she was hospitalized, I searched Dad's computer. He had already planned the YouTube upload. The title was Faith Over Fear. Praised Paisley's bravery and asked viewers for donations. His analytics showed that videos featuring our injuries earned the most views and money. I saved every file and sent everything to the police, Child Protective Services, and local news stations. Before my parents could erase it, I posted the evidence on Mom's YouTube channel. They were arrested during Paisley's funeral. Dad was charged with child endangerment and involuntary manslaughter. Mom was charged as an accessory. Their YouTube channel was permanently removed. I live with my grandmother now. Our only Christmas tradition is hot chocolate, board games, and staying safely indoors. During Dad's trial, he claimed he only wanted to teach us faith. I looked him in the eyes and answered, "You never taught us faith. You taught us to fear the people who were supposed to protect us." Dad was sentenced to 12 years in prison. Mom received 6. For the first time in my life, Christmas finally feels safe.